Hello everyone, welcome to my everyday glam makeup routine. First things first, we're going to start off with primer, and I'm going to be using the Glowy Makeup Serum by Laneige, and I'm putting that all over my face, kind of wiping it in, and then I like to pat it into the skin to really absorb it. This gives your skin a little bit of tackiness, but not too much. Then I'm using the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas Primer, and I'm only going to be focusing this product on my T-zone, which is kind of down your nose, up into your forehead and under your eyes, anywhere that you kind of feel like you crease normally. I put this, since it's a thicker primer, I don't want to put it all over my face. Next, I'm going to use the It Cosmetics CC Cream. I love this stuff so much, but I'm also going to be using the Summer Friday Skin Tint because my shade right now is a tad too dark for me. I'm like in between my self-tan. And I'm going to be using a dual-sided It Cosmetics brush to buff that into the skin. As you can see, I kind of like to press it into the skin and wipe just a tiny bit, but more pressing motions. I feel like this gives it more of an airbrushed look rather than streaky, but I love It Cosmetics CC Cream. SPF 40 is crucial for Florida. For concealer, of course, I'm going to be using my well-loved Tarte Shape Tape. Look at how like worn off that is. And I'm going to put that under my eyes, on both sides, on my chin, on the bridge of the nose, and on my forehead, just anywhere that you want to bring light to your face. This one is a tad too light. I'm like weirdly, as I said, in between my spray tan, so the colors are a little wonky, but we're going to make it work. And then I'm going to use that same brush that I used for my foundation, but I'm going to switch to the smaller side, as you can see, to buff that into the skin. The smaller side makes it a little bit more concentrated, but once I have it blended out, I'm going to switch back to the other side, which is that bigger brush, and buff it out. So as you can see, I'm starting with the smaller side and then flip it around and buff it out. My go-to is always a beauty blender because it just gives such a seamless application, but I've really been loving like a synthetic brush like this lately to use for my concealer and foundation. Not sure why, but been liking it. Then I'm using the Rare Beauty contour stick. This is the shade Bright Side. I kind of wish I went a little bit darker. I don't know what was up with me today. All my shades were just wrong. But it still worked, but I do have a darker shade than this that I feel like would have been better. It just would have been more opaque on my skin tone right now. But as you can see, I put it on my cheekbones, jawlines, forehead, each side of the bridge of my nose, and then my eyelids. I actually stole this from Avery Woods on TikTok. I'm obsessed with her, and I saw she started doing this. I'm like, that's such a good idea and saves like precious time when you're trying to get ready. And then I'm just going to buff it in with a angled brush, kind of. Again, I like to stamp it into my skin rather than like circular motions. But of course, I'll use circular motions to buff it in at the end. But initially, I kind of like to press it into my skin. And this looks funny to use a brush that big for my eyelids. But you know what? You do what you can. For blush, I'm going to go in with Rare Beauty again. This is the shade Bliss. I've been loving liquid blush recently. It just gives it your skin such a healthy glow from within. And this makeup look obviously is glam. We're doing all the steps, but we're not putting on false lashes. We're not putting on red lipstick. We still have that natural essence to it. And liquid products like liquid blush and contour and stuff like that really helps to bring out that natural essence. As you can see, I'm going back in with that small brush. It has no product on it except for what was left over, just to make sure the blush shouldn't get too high in my under eye. For powder, I'm going to use the MAC Cosmetics Blot Powder. This is the pressed powder, and I'm just going to press it where I put the concealer. So I want this to still be a natural look. I don't want to be fully mattified. So I'm just going to put it in where I would crease, which is under my eyes, as you can see here. And I put it on my eyelids because my eyelids crease very easily. Some people's don't, but I always have to put powder on my eyelids because they will crease very easily. I put it down my nose gets oily, and on my chin. I didn't put concealer, obviously my smile lines, but I'm a very smiley person. You can't tell by this clip, I look very, very serious, but I smile a lot throughout the day and just talk and make faces, so I always like to set my smile lines because they will crease very easily. Too easily, actually. Moving on, we're going to do brows. I'm going to use the Anastasia Brow Freeze Brow Styling Wax. This stuff is insane. Like, it is super glue for your eyebrows that comes off. And I just use a spoolie, which is a fancy name for a brow brush, to brush it through my brows. And look at that laminated look, you guys. Laminations can be so expensive, so if you don't want to pay it, just get this product and boom, you have one. For brows, step 2, we're going to go in with the Anastasia Dip Brow, which is very 2016 of me, but I love Anastasia Dip Brow. Like, it is a ride or die for me. I love it. I'm using the shade medium brown, and as you can see, I like to dip my brow brush, and then I like to kind of like pat it on the lid to get the excess off, because this stuff is heavy duty, and if you go in like heavy-handed, it's a little hard to reverse. So we like to go in soft at first. As you can see, I don't do anything super crazy. I just kind of fill in my natural brows. And then I take Tarte Shape Tape. Wow, I need help. So I like to put that underneath my brows. Any concealer I'm using that day I go in with just to define the brows. I cannot skip this step. Like, no matter what, I need to do this step. It makes your brows just pop. Oh, love it. For eyeshadow, we're going to take it super simple and just go in with this Tarte Champagne Eye Pencil, or eye crayon, I guess I should say. Waterproof shadow stick, that's what it's called. I'm making up names. And I'm just putting it in the inner corner and fanning it out. I don't want to put it too far over because, as you remember, we put the contour on the outer corner of our eyes. But as you can see, I'm bringing it down into the inner corner and on the brow bone. So I slowed this clip down because the eyeliner clip got lost somewhere. So I'm just going to explain that all I did was take an angled brush, dipped it in some dark brown eyeshadow, and just stamped it all along my lash line and flicked it out. And then, as you can see, did a tiny line on my lower lash line. That's literally it. All I did. Didn't miss much. But for mascara, I am using my favorite mascara. I've been using this every day for the last few months, and I cannot get over how obsessed I am with it. This is the Tartelette Tubing Mascara. Tubing mascara is so incredible. It stays on, but when you want to take it off, it just like peels off your lashes, so your lashes don't get like damaged and don't have like built up product on them. Oh, I can't believe it took me so long to try tubing mascara, but wow, I love it so much. Putting it on my lower lashes as well, but I'm only really focusing it like on the center, so your eyes have that openness to them instead of feeling like they have so much mascara on the bottom. It can look kind of heavy sometimes, so I only like putting it on my bottom lashes on the center. As you can see, gives them a very open, awake effect. I love this mascara. I can't get over it, you guys. Look at the difference of mascara. Boom. Wow. So then I realized that I kind of lost some of that contour on my eyes because the shade was pretty light. So I just went back in with the same product and I just dipped it onto a little shadow brush and just reapplied it in the place I put it, which is that outer corner of the eye, just to bring back some of the color. I felt like my eyes weren't very defined. For lips, I'm going to line my lips first with the Gen Nude Bare Minerals lip liner. This is the shade Vibe. I love lining my lips almost like 75% of the way. Like, I like putting it all over the outer corners, but then kind of filling in the sides, as you can see, so then only the center of my lips are bare, and that's where I put my next color, which is the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip, and it just makes your lips look so full and like defined. Oh, love it. Setting this all with the Urban Decay Chill Makeup Setting Spray, a ride or die. Been using this for like 10 years. And that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. This is such an easy look to recreate or just do when you want a little bit of drama, but still want to keep it a little natural. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.